listening to the Possibility Show podcast. Hey, welcome back to the Possibility Show, and this is your host, Jovan, and I am really excited to be back here for another episode of another useful, very valuable content to all of you coaches out there. And again, just to reiterate, the reason why I'm doing this is because what I believe is that coaching is really a very meaningful and impactful profession to be in, and I give it out to all of you who are really out there putting your heart out there to help other people so that they can get the transformation that they want in their life, in different areas of their life, whether it's in their career, their personal lives, their relationships, finances, whatever it is. But a lot of times, right, there are things that stop us as coaches in achieving those things, and that those things are the ones that we're going to look at, and so that you can have, that you can achieve the goals that you want. You can achieve breakthrough performance, and which is the topic we're going to have today. And I brought in a special person that I recently met, and I love what she's doing, and I you will know later when we start having a conversation. And yeah, without further ado, let me bring in our guest today. So let me give a very quick introduction, because I love this. I went through her LinkedIn profile, and I just want to read a bit of her about section in her LinkedIn, and you will get a sense of who our guest for today is. So let me start. So in here it says there are more than 100 executive leadership development program in the market, which is true, right? With almost every program providing multiple methods of learning leadership concepts, but so few of it support the leaders in making those concepts become real, or real results. And none of it actually helps the executive leaders to be adored, to be highly loved and respected. The truth is, human to human connection yearns to be loved and respected. More so important for a leader, because if I can be adored, there's nothing they wouldn't do for me. So this is her. So I had worked with international professional clients from 13 countries across 4 continents. Wow, right? To turn around individuals and organizations. And this is what I'm great at: facilitating adore leadership. And maybe I'll ask her about that. But these are some of her superpowers, and I love this: executive leadership program, senior management development training program, executive leadership development program, senior management program, mindset and culture transformation program, and rapid transformation program. So that's whew. So without further ado, let me bring in our guest for today, Fuen Yee.
Hey, Joanna. Nice to see you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much. And Gwen, I know I've did a bit of introduction. Maybe you can also do a formal introduction of yourself so that the listeners and viewers, by the way, can know you much better.
Right. I think whatever that you have mentioned earlier, I will just leave it as it is. But a little bit about myself. I graduated as an accountant. Yeah. And my first job is actually managing manufacturing environment, taking care of a small, tiny section of accounting department, which is the accounts payable side. And I was very lucky because at the starting point of my career, I already had 3 staff reporting under me. I was junior, right, fresh grad, but I already have 3 staff reporting under me. I was very blessed. And then I learned to put my heart into my work, right? And learning how to manage 3 staff. Well, it wasn't really that difficult or challenging, because being the eldest in the family, I got used to managing people. See? So not so much of a problem. And then with the great results that I had, then I move on to a different industry, which is shopping mall. In a short term of 1 year, just 1 year, I became the head of department of the whole shopping. So executive director, he took interest of what I do because he has seen massive results from what I do, and he asked me to run the shopping mall instead. So being an accounting person, a person which is normally very quiet, introverted, doing back-end jobs, rarely see people, and you ask me to run shopping mall, which requires a lot of technical knowledge, M&E stuff, building maintenance stuff, about man stuff mainly. You have the car park and all those things. That's where I really, really grow. It helped me to really got onto something which is very, very uncomfortable, being in that man's world, being seen, being out there. And after being in the industry for 16 years, running shopping mall, and the last thing was with Surya KLCC, which is the most notable asset management in the whole Malaysia, I decided to take a sabbatical leave. And then I went on to London. Actually, there's a personal story behind it. On that, why I got away from Malaysia, because I was then having severe depression. It was then also planning for suicide in London. However, I was very, very blessed. At that point of time, I was being rescued by the kind Marisa Peer, who then wrote me into what she does, which is rapid transformation therapy. And she healed in the sense that in one session itself, she took me out from depression. And that night itself, I didn't need to take any more antidepressants or sleeping pills. And the next day I woke up feeling very fresh, very different. So with that experience, personal experience, I thought this is such a life-changing experience that I went through. Then I decided to learn from her because I wanted to really help people. And then I discovered that all along, whatever that I had been done since young has always been loving to help people. And she helped me to guide me and see and visualize my path. Whatever that makes meaning to me is actually impacting the lives of others. So then I learned from her, practiced in London before I come back to Malaysia, helping people, and not knowing that when I something to help people, my time starting to get filled up naturally. I didn't know that some of the clients that I have are from the media, so then I get invited to the radio broadcast, the TV, to the newspaper interviews, and then it just took off like that. And here am I.
Wow.
What I do with all these exposures, it was just guided like that. It just happened naturally. Then I started to interview neuroscientists, doing more research, getting out again of my comfort zone, doing speaking. Even though I had fear of public speaking, used to be. And then, while you saw how I did my speaking a few weeks ago, and that's how I grow and expand, and still loving every bit of the challenges that get out from my comfort zone.
Yeah. Wonderful story. Thank you for sharing that, and thank you for being vulnerable and opening up your story to our listeners. Quite inspiring. And before I start asking about breakthrough performance, because I think the listeners also is super keen to understand that as well. I heard a few like hints from your story. Um, well, I'm curious. It seems like you had a very, I would say, from the outside, right? Like looking from the outside, a successful career,
Mm.
right? In property management and all this. And what caused you to
What caused me to?
become depressed? Like like seek out, go to London.
Right. Right. Hmm. Now, before I meet Marisa, I was thinking what everyone else was thinking, probably because of work stress, family problems, relationship issues, combined all together and unresolved over a long period of time, and so tired, right?
Mm,
That's what everyone thought, and I thought so too, because that's how we used to do. That's what we were um being told. You depressed because you're overstressed, you are exhausted, and you need a time off. You need to take a break.
yeah.
Now, the thing is, even though I do take short breaks every now and then, but when we come back to the work, it it will start again. That feeling will come again. There's the same emotions that you're going to face over and over again, despite the holidays that you go out. Of you know, uh, to a certain extent, even some people say that probably that job is being very, very toxic. You just need to change.
Mm,
So you change job, you change your workplace. Same thing. It's gonna for a short period of time, everything's fine, but eventually it'll come back again and again.
yeah. Yeah.
So that was before the London incident. But after the London incident, what I realized was all this stress, all this depression was actually a result of me having a belief that I am not worthy. I am
Wow.
insecure.
Wow.
And I didn't know the existence of all this belief.
Wow. 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 And that's a huge like bomb that you just dropped to the listener. And it's really like worthiness is a huge topic, and probably we'll touch on that again. And thank you for that. But yeah, that's very, and I mean I can totally resonate with the depression topic because I've been through that as well, and I'm sure to those listeners who are listening to this who have gone through some form of like depression or sadness, whatever you're going through, maybe you're working and like what Gwen was saying, you get stress, exhaustion, all the things that's happening in your life, adding, piling up, and that can cause it, and or it can be like like a major thing that happened in life, which was the case for me. But yeah, thank you for sharing that. I mean, was just really really curious, like what drove you to seek out that transformational work that you got for yourself. And I know a lot of coaches also had similar kind of like situation wherein they were going through some stuff, they went through coaching, and then that's how they like really found out about the wonderful world of coaching and that transformation work. And that's when they, and like a lot of them decided, okay, I want to do this for myself. And that's exactly my story as well. So, but again, going back to my intro, I noticed that a lot of the coaches, and I mean, I love your story wherein you just started helping people, and then you didn't know that there were a few people that you helped were in the media, and then that started to pick up. And I love that. I want to have that for myself as well. But yeah, that, and not all coaches would have that. or haven't had that. And so that's why I want to like discuss what can they do, to really overcome that. And so maybe we define first, like one of your specializations is breakthrough performance. So what does breakthrough performance?
Well, in my personal definition, right,
Yeah.
definition, um, breakthrough performance means you are able to get out from your standard performance. Yeah, that you have. If you have always been achieving A, and now it's time to get an A plus.
Mm.
If you have been always achieving an A, say, 1 million a year, right now the breakthrough would be probably 1.5, 2 million, 10x, right? Breakthrough is something that when you think about it, it's going to really get you having all these butterflies in your stomach, giving you that breath feeling inside. Yeah. And at the same time, you're excited. Yeah, you are unsure when you're gonna get there, but you are so motivated and you want to be there. Yeah, and you are putting your trust, your faith, and go and get it. That's breakthrough. It's not something that it's easy. I know I can do this. I know I can achieve this. Slightly challenging, but I know I can manage this. That's normal performance. Breakthrough is something that shakes you from within and push you out from the boundaries, from your cave, from your comfort zone. That's what I define breakthrough performance to be.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thanks for explaining that. And I know like some of the coaches, one of the things that really stops them from fully like committing and going into their coaching business is fear, right? So that is one of the biggest things, which is can either be fear of failure or so. How have you worked with other coaches before, and how did you work through them in this part? If not, I mean, you can cite any other examples.
No, I would structure in terms of how should I present this. The people that I have managed or coached, whether it is from the C-suites, whether it is senior managers or even coaches themselves, they can't run away. In fact, I can't run away. We all can't run away from having that fear. Yeah, the fear of judgment, the fear of failure. It's such a huge thing. And in fact, that fear is so much bigger than the fear to ghosts and spirits, literally. If you read somewhere, if you Google in the internet, you'll be surprised that fear of ghosts or fear of spirits aren't even the top as compared to fear of failure or fear of judgments. So, and I believe all these things has got to do by the way that we have been brought up. And I always coin these 3 elements. One is education. The 3 E's. One is education. Number 2 is the environment that we grow up with. And number 3 is the exposure. Now, what education tells us when we are in school is that we need to oblige. You take instructions and you follow instructions. You do whatever that the teacher asks you to do. Or even in the family, you're supposed to follow the rules and the regulations set by the parents or the guardian. Otherwise, you're going to get punishment, negative consequences that we most likely don't like that, right? So we learn that if we do not follow what is being ask from us, we're going to get punishments. And when you get punishments, normally the self voice, the voice inside our head would be saying things like, I get punished because I didn't do good. I'm not good enough, right? If I'm not good enough, if I'm not a good person, then I am not being accepted. Not being accepted by our family members, the parents, by the guardian, or by the teachers, right? Or by the school. Environment, again, is the next thing. If you do not behave in certain manner that your friends in school or even the colleagues around you, they don't like you, then you cannot belong to that group anymore. And then you have that fear of being rejection. And normally people, it's a fundamental basic needs of human being to be connected with people, to be with people, to be embraced, to be in the circle of people. So if you are not in, it just means that you are being rejected. And if you be rejected, the signal in our subconscious mind, it will send the signal to tell you it's an alarming thing, it's a no-go thing, and you need to behave in the same manner as other people. So you have that fear, and scientifically, based on what we know, based on what we have studied, and based on the research, one of the reasons why this fear coming is because if you are not within the group, back in the barbarian times, if you're not in the group and you get outcasted, you get killed, either by other tribes, either by the beings outside, right?
Yeah.
So even so many thousands, millions and millions of years after that, our little brain, back in our brain, it still stores part of this survival tips to ensure that we survive. So it is in our natural instinct that we need to have that belonging. We need to be in a circle of people. So you have that fear. If we do not perform or behave in certain manner that of the group that we choose to be, that can be rejected. So that is the fear. So if I were to say something that others do not like, then I will be rejected. So I'd better not say it. Right? So they stay at the same level as everyone else. They do not want to be seen outstanding, right? Because if you're seen outstanding, somebody is going to give negative remarks, question why the way you do like that, why you behave, why you say like that, and you see that differences, and they don't like it, and they're going to reject. So that all these things playing in the head, they will stop progressing. They will just, all these are just fear of rejection. And fear of failure, again, it goes back to the same thing. If you fear, then you are being seen as not a successful person. People judge you, people don't like you because you're a failure, you're a loser. And if you're a loser, nobody likes to be a loser, because if you're a loser, it means you're an outcast. Even back in the barbarians, if you're not bringing something back to the tribe, you get outcasted. Unless you do something for the tribe, even in just simple tasks, by cooking or just contributing in any manner to the tribe, then you can stay in the tribe. If you are not contributing, you are a loser, then you get outcast. So naturally, people cannot deal when you say you are a failure, you are a loser. So they want to go away. So to become a failure, I do not want to take that risk. I just want to do something that I'm so used to do. I know I can do this. So I'll just stay put and do whatever that I'm doing best. I don't want promotion. I'm good with that. As long as I get the salary increment, I'm good with that. Yeah, just don't promote me. Don't give me additional tasks. this is the kind of clients this is the kind of clients that I used to deal with. I'm good with that. Don't give me new clients because I don't know what their industry, I don't know what is their background and stuff like that. I just want to deal with whatever that I used to deal with. So these are some of the fears that really hold them back, just because of the fear of validation, a fear of judgment, fear of failure. Yeah, all this.
Mm,
So
one of, one of, yeah.
one of the ways actually is to really see in all our circumstances as we grow, we definitely has got through situations whereby it's out of our comfort zone. So
Yeah.
the more that we look at and acknowledge our contribution and our successes, little milestones, that's fine. But all this tells us that we can do it, despite the fact that we get out from that comfort zone, that it reinstates that confidence, and it also helps to curb with that voice inside. That's one way. Second way is actually knowing that this fear, if it's not real. Now, we say that in the past, if you get outside from that group, from that tribe, you're going to get killed. You won't survive if you are to go out from a tribe. But look, we are no longer in that barbarian mode. The world has modernized so much. We do not have so much of dangers outside, and it's perfectly fine if we were to travel out alone, if we do things alone, if we eat alone. There won't be someone or some kind of animal that's gonna ambush
Like a
and kill us.
tiger.
You just come out like that. Environment has totally changed. So we got to tell ourselves it's completely safe for us to get out from that circle. And we have so many different kinds of circles of friends out there. So many different kinds of people out there. If this group aren't supporting us anymore, their behaviors, their achievements, whatever that they say is so toxic, get out from there. You can build another circle. There are so many different kinds of people out there. Just free your mind, challenge your mind to look at what you used to look at already and look beyond that, what's possible. What other people have achieved, how did they do that? Look for people who are quite close to who you are, yet they have done something special, something different, just one step ahead of us, and that can be a good role model for us to get ourselves out from that comfort zone. So that helps with overcoming that fear. Take one small baby step. One is the reinforcement. Second is through taking action and modeling after someone who is not too far from where we are.
Nice. I love that. And then that's why the title of the show is a possibility show. Right? To look at the possibility, what's possible out there.
Yes.
And one of the things that you mentioned, so one is like really acknowledging that fear is not real. And, it's for us to assess, and then we have the mind to do that. It's for us to assess whether this fear is really real or it's, like just made up. And if they're really a danger, right? So that's what we're saying. And then the second one is reinforcing and acknowledging that, those small wins that, this person have gotten, and to tell themselves that, okay, I actually can do it. How about if the person, even though they have these small wins, they really just want to focus on, the mistakes or the failures that they have, committed. Well, what can they do then?
Yeah, this is also a very natural human behavior. Because again, back in those days, a human being, how they survive once they get out is to screen for any dangers out there first. Because there may be wild animals out there, other tribes hiding. So you really need to scan for the dangers. So the mind has already been trained, has already been conditioned. Wherever you go, in whatever situation, you first look for the dangers, things that are negative. Yeah, but danger is a risk. This person, what I don't, you pick up things which is not good in your eyes or in your mind first. When you go into a hotel room, first thing you scout is scout for what's not right. Oh, the smell, sometimes it's not right. You look for the dirt. This is not right, that is not right, this is not working. That is very, very normal. So in whatever that we do, we need to now start to train our mind, because that's inhibited, right? We can our mind start to shift. Now, how do we do that? The very basic and the easiest way is to practice gratefulness. Yeah, for beginners, start practicing being grateful. Say 5 things you're grateful for every single day, every morning when you wake up. Yeah, start seeing things.
I like this exercise.
Yeah, because when you start be grateful, now you're training your mind. Instead of looking for things which doesn't work for you, you're training your mind and your brain to think of things that work for us and that we need to embrace and be thankful for, things that is working well. So we are training the brain to pick up the things that work for us, the good things that work for us. Yeah. So once you have read it, and that gratefulness, it can be as simple as I'm grateful that I'm breathing today. I have a shelter, I have food on my table. I have my husband beside me. I have a home. It's not just a house, but I also have a home. I have my parents stick with me, my children, my pets, whatever. Simple things just as that, or it's just as simple as I'm to breathe easily and calmly, right? I'm still alive. And not repeating it every single day, because we have so much things to be grateful for. So for today, 5 things to be grateful for. The next day, you change to another 5 things to be grateful for. So you are training your mind basically to look for what are the things that I should be grateful for, right? That's for beginner. For those who, because gratefulness is something that has been already in the market for, I think, for a few years already.
I love how you put it, in the market.
The market, right? So for me, I would teach my clients to take a step forward. Another higher level is at night time, you do another time of gratefulness. And this time, I would want them to look at the day. What are things that you want to be grateful for today that has already happened for the entire day? Wow. That's second level. Third level, the night itself, when you screen for the things that you're being grateful for, look for the things that aren't going on what you have planned, and be grateful for that. Yeah, you're
like look for what they can be grateful for, even though that situation.
Correct. When we get, well, we can't be having 100% all the days be perfect. There will be things we aren't going to be as planned as we wanted. So on that day itself, what are the things that has failed? And in that event, find that event. In that event, what is it that you're being grateful for? Grateful that, say for example, recently I'm just cut off one partnership, right? And when you cut a partnership, it's something which is not a very pleasant feeling, right? So how will you find gratefulness behind this event? So I'm very grateful for I'm able to know what I've learned out of this experience. Yeah, right. I'm very grateful for to be able to have that confidence and to have that clarity to put a stop right there. Otherwise, I'm going to bleed more. I'm going to suffer more. The things are going to get worse, right? So that's why I say find the things that aren't going to the direction that we want, and find what is it that we should be grateful for the things that aren't happening to the plans that we have, not going to have. So that's level 3. So we have beginners, you have the intermediate, and you have the advanced. So that helps
Wow.
the brain. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Like complete solution for all of you. Like now you have steps to go through. Like and I do agree with this because especially for like some of the clients that I work with as well, and it's fascinating. Like because really just like what you said, gratefulness has been in the market for quite some time, meaning popularized. Like it has a lot of influencers, a lot of teachers, a lot of coaches have started talking about and using gratefulness as well. And I use that in my clients as well. And sometimes when I do this with my clients, they also like, oh, okay, like it's something new to them. It's fascinating. And because I've been doing this exercise for many years now, and the wonderful thing about this is just like what you were saying, there's levels to it, because our minds basically get used to it, like get programmed. Instead of like always complaining, if you practice being grateful every day, you definitely complain less and be grateful. And then this has happened in my life. And then like when you said, yeah, go ahead.
It also helps us to become much calmer, and it grounds us a lot more, and we will not experience that kind of that emotions going really up and really down. It's more docile.
Yeah. That's very true. That's very true. And I think it's just like because we started this with a conversation of like what do you focus on, and people when they first have heard of it, oh, gratefulness, like how does that help? And because that it's a simple, very very simple but powerful practice that people can start on, and then once they improve, then I love that part because I was like, oh, I hope she mentions this, and then you mentioned that at the third level, which is really looking at, okay, now the practice goes in wherein something doesn't go your well, and how can you still be grateful for that? And I think that's like really when we reach that level, and I'm sure there's higher levels after that, but when we reach that level, that third level, I think we become unstoppable already.
Yeah, it's easy to be said than to be done, especially for beginners,
Of course.
because our brain is so hardwired to it, right? So that's why I break it down to 3 levels. And while I can actually train on this, and I can actually um monetize it, but I'm giving it free to all the viewers right now, because I find that this is something which is can really change our life. And I being in this doing this for so many years already, it's not just the way that it has impacted my life is so phenomenal. And I can share an incident which is so uh, recently, I was being awarded the most outstanding leaders in Dubai, and I was supposed to be there only in the month of June to receive that award. However, God, this is so embarrassing. I do not know. Hold on. I booked a ticket to go to Dubai to receive the award in May. And imagine when I go to the venue, and there's no one there. And I was, eh, what is happening? You know, did I miss something? Right? I cannot connect what has happened. And then I brought along my other half, and I was like in such a celebrative mode then, right? Because I achieved something. And I'm so sorry. And then and then he was shocked. I was shocked as well. And then I learned it was my mistake. A mistake that
Yeah.
I have made. Right? So all the way there. So a month earlier, right? And what do I do there now, right? I was so upset with myself. I was so angry with myself. I was like, literally, first thing I need to focus is to calm my partner down because he was in a shock. So am I. So I number the time I tamed him because there were so many negative emotions being built up, right? So I know that I'm having this anxiety already. So I went to the toilet. I told him, give me a few minutes. I went to the toilet. I was like crying my eyes out because I was so embarrassing. This is happening. But then after that, I quiet myself. I'm able to breathe and quiet down myself and say that, look, what probably the universe is telling me right now is to get rest. But because I haven't been resting for more than 6 months, it was like continuous back to back, back to back, back to back, back to back. I didn't even rest during Chinese New Year at that point of time. Just so I was like so tired, and that's why the mind and the eyes are conspired for me to look at the dead as waves of it and walk to the good. So it's telling me to rest and take this opportunity to rest, to spend time with my loved ones and rekindle. And that calmed me down almost instantaneously, stopped the tears, and got up from the washroom, speak to my another half, and say, let's change plans, let's have fun. Instead for work right now, we change it to fun, to relaxation, to see what's available out there. What can we do now, right? So it changed the whole entire atmosphere. It changed the outcome. So instead of me keep on hammering myself, and then being wanting to cross with each other, right? The whole entire energy environment just shifted because I learned to be grateful out from this embarrassing environment that is costly at that point of time, right? So yeah, so that is one of the biggest impact and experience sharing that has personally happened to me. So if you have practiced gratefulness long enough, you can literally shift your energy, shift your emotions very, very quickly in spite of whatever that is happening around us. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for sharing that story. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and then something that really happens, right? Like, and I love what you said, that okay, I think the universe is telling me something, and to really rest, and things happen for a reason, right? Wonderful one. And I get that, gratefulness is really like one of the key things, I think, in this journey of performance breakthrough. What do you think, what can you suggest, like, to our listeners, would be other things, and you don't have to explain each one, but maybe like give other tools that they can use in their journey of performance breakthrough.
I think, thank you for that question. I think that is very, very important. And what I would like to share, one of the most important, I should say that is the integral, fundamental element that we need to embrace to have whatever breakthroughs in our lives is to be authentic. And I'm not talking about Authentic means just being able to express, but being congruent with who we are, being congruent between the head and the heart, right? And congruent in terms of expressing it, and authentic in terms of creating a reality or a life that we really, really want. So I think that authenticity is the most powerful part. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy because, as we have already mentioned just now, we have so many fears, different kinds of fears, different kinds of conditioning that we have been exposed to all along, right? It's a huge amount of awareness and consciousness to be able to know this is not what I like, this is not what I want, this is not what I have thought of doing even, and I don't like this emotion that I'm experiencing. But because of, again, back to the fear of rejection and how people perceived us, you just being nice and you say, okay, I'll just behave and help out other people. And we have a lot of coaches out there who just want to help because they want to be seen as nice person. And this isn't something that is true to their heart. They were in there because money is actually easier for some of the coaches, right? You don't really need to do a lot. All you need to do is just get a certification and you can call yourself a coach. However, action, right? That interaction. That if it's just for the money and you aren't caring what the coachee is going through, right? You are not authentic. In the end of the day, you maybe seem very, very nice. Yeah, I'm a good coach. I'm coaching to the results that they want. But you're doing it for the money, and you're not really happy inside. In the end of the day, your lives aren't going to be really, really happy or satisfying, or up to really what you want. So do things that is congruent with who we are, what our heart desires, and also align it back to our head. And I think that is one of the most critical things to live a very meaningful, purposeful, and a very joyful, blissful
life. Yeah, and I believe that as well. I think and I mean there are clues, and this is something that I also work passionately with other coaches, is that not only like in I know that they have the huge heart, that's why they want to go into coaching, but normally I help them transition, right? So from being employed, they want to go full time, and in their current situation, there are already clues that they are not happy, and with that unhappiness, that's causing their performance to stagnate or maybe even go down. And that's exactly what you were saying, that there's correlation in that. Because if you are truly authentic and congruent to who you are, what you want to do in life, what you want to achieve, it's meaningful, it's purposeful, then naturally you want to achieve more. You want to, get that breakthrough. So that's, yeah.
And in my personal experience, right, and this is so true, success is not the key to happiness, but happiness is key to success. And you can't be happy if you are not authentic. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. It's so profound, it's simple, but it takes a lot of courage, a lot of awareness and consciousness to be able to appreciate, to see the difference, and to start to see what can we do to start to change, to transform, to have breakthrough, not just in life, not just in career, but in life, personal life, relationships, in whichever aspect, is the same thing, it's the same fundamental.
Love it. I love it. And I mean, this is kind of like uh breakthrough performance 101. This is really the fundamentals. This is really fundamentals, people. Listen carefully, and I think once our listeners and our viewers really get this down, I think a lot of the other things will become much easier. Thank you for sharing all of this. And I want to talk about a lot of other things, and maybe I can invite you back again. I had a really, really wonderful, conversation with you. You know, a lot of insights as well, a lot of reinforcement, and yeah, thank you so much for sharing. Any other final words you want to like share with our listeners, or maybe you have something going on that you'd like to invite them or anything.
At this moment, not too much on my side. Well, I have already published two books. Two more books is coming up next year. International
Wow.
Wednesday, and also on the coaching. Okay, really look for that coaching book. It's really talking about what are coaches really doing nowadays, and how do you pick the right coach, and and if you are a coach, what boundaries should you set? And if you are a coach, you are not a therapist, you shouldn't be offer to handle the emotional side of things unless you also have background such as psychotherapy as me. Right? So being able to be open and say it's okay, I'm living in a world of abundance, I need not grab onto my client like that. Feel free to refer to experts, things like that are in the book that is going to happen next year. So, but what I wish our viewers and our listeners would be really the only thing, there's only one thing that you can take away from this podcast is being authentic, right? Be authentic. See what is not working within us, that voice, because that ultimately is the biggest shift that you can take, and you're going to experience a lot of breakthrough in your life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, friend. And I'll definitely invite you back before you launch your book. That would be cool. That would be cool. We'll do a book launch.
Oh.
All right, cool, set. So thank you so much. And for our listeners, for our viewers, I hope you've gotten like a lot of value from this episode. As always, I want to create content that will definitely help you in your coaching journey, and like today in this episode to get that breakthrough performance for you. So thank you again, Fuen. And if they want to connect to you, where is the best place to connect?
Well, I seldom put myself out there in the social media, but one platform that I would normally post more about myself, what I go through, what I feel like saying, would be my Facebook, Fuen Yee. Yeah. Of course, LinkedIn. It's there. My things are there. It's just that I'm not really active in LinkedIn, but if you send me messages in the LinkedIn, in the Facebook, I will be able to respond. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'll put the links in the show notes as well. Thank you so much. And everyone, that's it for this episode, and I'll see you again in the next one. Bye.
Thank you for having me. See you all soon. Bye-bye.
Oh, hey there. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to click the bell button so you get updated of the new videos. See you in the next one.